In today's video, I'm going to share with you 11 not so obvious red flags in a relationship. Being aware of those red flags will help you in 3 ways. Number 1, reflecting on your past relationships, drawing conclusions, and heal. Number 2, assessing your current relationships and see if they're healthy or not. Number 3 is planning for your future relationships. I'm Coach Paz Goldman, your relationship and breakup coach. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you are an old, beautiful subscriber, welcome back. And today, like I said, I'm going to talk to you about the not so obvious red flags, because they are the obvious ones that you know it's toxic relationship, but there's the not so obvious that this is what you really want to pay attention to. Coming in with number 1, subtle undermining, backhanded compliments. Compliments that also contain subtle insults, making you feel good and bad simultaneously. And I'm going to give you an example for each one of these things that I'm about to share with you. For this one is, you look great today. I didn't expect that dress to suit you so well. If these things happen repeatedly, this is not funny. And this is a huge red fucking flag. If it happens once in a while, in a teasing, loving way, sometimes it can be okay. But make sure that it's not repeating itself multiple times, that it makes you feel like shit. Because this is just chewing on your self-esteem, and this is an unacceptable behavior. The next one is subtle digs. Minor, constant criticism that seems harmless individually, but accumulated over time. When it's accumulated over time, this is the problem. If it's once in a while and it's very minor, that's okay. Sometimes in a relationship, it's good to have some banter, and it's healthy to have some back and forth. It's great, but nothing insulting, and don't settle if it's repeating itself and it makes you feel bad. If it makes you feel bad, that's not okay. I'm just going to put it here. If it makes you feel bad, just don't take it. Don't take it. Put a boundary. Set the boundary and say, hey, listen, makes you feel like shit. I don't want you to talk to me like this. That's a boundary. Example for this one is, you are so ambitious for someone who didn't go to college. That's not even funny. Yeah. Number 2 will be lack of emotional availability, emotional inconsistency, being emotionally available sometimes, but distance at other times without explanation. The explanation part is the most important part, because in a relationship, you want to have a partner that is communicative, talking to you, sharing with you what's going through their mind. Sometimes we go through highs and lows emotionally, that's okay. But if your partner is distant without explaining, without telling you why, this is definitely a red flag, and it's not that obvious. And I know that even when my relationship started with my current partner, she had one time that she wasn't available. She felt some type of way. And I remember she texted me, she said, I'm sorry that I didn't call you back. I think it was when she didn't call me back, and she said, I'm sorry for that. If I'm being distant a little bit, I'm just going through a lot right now. She had some things with her family, and she said, it just take a toll on me. She explained why she felt the way she did and why she distanced herself a little bit, because I felt a little bit bad when she distanced herself, to be honest. And when she explained it to me, I understood and I said, all right, that's okay. But if she wasn't explaining it to me and just disappearing, it just shows lack of care and lack of emotional availability. And number 2 here is avoidance of vulnerability, refusing to open up about their feelings or past experiences. For example, whenever you try to talk to your partner about deeper emotions or past experiences, they change the subject or make a joke to avoid the conversation. In a relationship, communication is one of the most important keys. Open communication and knowing that everything is on the table and it's okay to talk about everything. This is very important. And when your partner is telling you that when you try to talk about something deep and they avoid it, make note of it and see, and also ask, is this making you uncomfortable? You can be the leader of the relationship and ask, does that conversation or this topic is making you feel uncomfortable? Why? Ask why and listen, effectively listen to what they got to say, because you want to be with them and you want this relationship to be good. And if your partner is not the best communicator, you can set an example. Sometimes I say for tango, you need one good leader. And once you're a very good leader, you can actually lead your partner into better lines of communication by setting the example. Sometimes it's not that easy, and sometimes you see that the other partner does not reciprocate or is really not on board. This is where you say, okay, I'm going to take my amazing communication skills somewhere else. Number 3, conditional affection. That's, I would say, even this is borderline toxic. Affection withheld as punishment, withholding affection or attention as a way to manipulate or control you. For example, if you have disagreement, they stop showing affection until you apologize, even if they're at fault. This one actually happened to me a lot, long time ago. But when my partner didn't want to have any type of physical affection, even after an argument, even if it was her fault. So if your partner is conditionally show you affection and playing this hot and cold with you, again, you need to communicate and understand the severity of the issue, why they behave in this way, and you reflect also on yourself what you can do better. I believe that as a man, and I'm talking to the men here, I believe that we are the solution. We are not necessarily the problem. We are actually not the problem, but we are the solution. Because as a man, you need to lead your woman. And I hope that many men watching this video and take the fucking lead and show their woman how this relationship can flourish. She will lead you emotionally, my man, but you need to lead her intellectually. You need to make her feel safe. And I'm going to make a lot of videos on masculine leadership, but for now, just take that as it is. Number 2 is love bombing and withdrawal. Showering you with love and attention initially, then pulling away suddenly. This is actually toxic behavior of narcissism. Example for that is in the beginning, they constantly send you sweet messages and gifts, but suddenly they become less communicative and distant without any clear reason. And I want to emphasize again here, clear reason. Healthy person have the ability to communicate effectively and say, listen, this shit don't work. This is not how we talk. I want to understand why you're behaving the way you do. Is this something about me or about you? And you got to learn how to effectively communicate. And it's something that, unfortunately, they don't teach you that in school. So this is why you go on YouTube University here and you're learning. And I commend you for learning that. Number 4, reluctant to apologize. Never admitting fault. Refusing to acknowledge when they were wrong or make a mistake. Example, even when it's clearly they've made a mistake, they refuse to acknowledge. Or often saying things like, well, if you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have reacted this way. It's putting a lot of blame. It's blaming. And you want a partner that is able to apologize. You want someone that is able to apologize. The reason that I put this as a red flag that is not very obvious is because it is. And you got to pay attention to these little things. And don't take this lightly if your partner is not willing to apologize for something that is obviously their fault. If they don't take responsibility for it, it needs to put you on notice. Deflecting blame. Always shifting the blame onto you or others instead of taking responsibility. For example, when confronted about an issue, they respond with, this wouldn't be a problem if you were more understanding. So they always, if they are blaming and avoiding if they're deflecting the blame all the time, You can see it even in their workplace. You can see it in all aspects of their life. And when you see it in the relationship, it just tells you that this person will never take full responsibility for their actions. Just ask yourself if this is a person that you want to be with. If a person that does not take full responsibility, also does not change their actions. Because in order for you to be able to change, you need to take responsibility, and you need to sometimes say, hey, that was my fault. That was my responsibility. I usually don't say it was my fault. I say it was my responsibility. Every time I just will put the responsibility back on me, because every time I put the responsibility back on me, I gain power. Because when I deflect blame and deflect responsibility, and I say, this is you, this is you, this is your problem, then you have the power over me. But when you say to yourself, I take the blame, I take the responsibility, you got the power. So if you were the partner who does not have this trait, this is a problematic behavior down the road, because shit will happen in a relationship. Things always happens. You want a partner to say, hey, my bad, I'm sorry. Let's fix this. Wouldn't you love that, right? Number 5, it's inconsistent effort. Hot and cold behavior, alternating between intense interest and indifference without clear reasons. You see that clear reasons and giving, I wrote it here, clear reasons number 5, number 4, also, where did I put it again? I think also number 1. Yeah, because explanation and communication, it's crucial to understand. If you done something wrong, say it. And you want a partner that is able just to say it and be more consistent with you. For example, here, they're very attentive and interested in you for a few days, then they barely communicate or make plans with you for the following week. Flaky behavior shows a person with very low emotional capacity to hold a relationship. And when you're in a relationship, you need to have a lot of emotional capacity to deal with all the beautiful things that relationship brings. It brings in and it brings out of you some stuff. In order for you to be able to master it, you need to master self. And a person that is inconsistent, hot and cold, it just means that they are not consistent with themselves. And this is a subtle red flag for you guys. Unreliable support, being supportive and present when it's convenient for them, but disappearing when you need them the most. Pay attention. Does your partner is there when you need them or not? Are they sometimes there? More often than not are not. You got to pay attention to this. When you need them, when you really need them, they got to be there all the time. All the time. I know that it's a lot to ask from a person to be there all the time. But if you really need someone, they got to be there for you. If it's your partner, romantic partner, they got to be there for you. I know it also depends on the situation. If you're very codependent and anxious, you can't expect them to be there all the fucking time. You got to be self-sufficient, self-reliant. You got to be grounded and, like I said, self-sufficient. You can't put all of your unmet needs on your partner. I made a lot of videos on this. You can go and check on my channel, and you're going to understand it much, much better. But I want to keep this video specific for this topic. For example, for here, it's they promise that they promise to be there for an important event, but they cancel last minute with a vague excuse. Vague excuse is always a red flag. Because when people lie, they're vague. You cannot tell the truth and not be clear. The truth is clear. It's very clear. And a lie, it's vague. And when people are vague, they're just trying to hide something. They try to hide and mask something. You need to know what they're hiding. And more often than not, when somebody is hiding from you and they're being vague to you, do you really want to be with them? Number 6, overly dependent on you. Emotional dependence. This is, I think, we just talked about it. Emotional dependence. relying on you exclusively for emotional support and not having support network of their own or themselves to be their own support. This is a very important thing. You want your partner to be self-sufficient and not always needing you. You don't want a partner who needs you. You want a partner who wants you. You want to be a partner that you want to be a partner who wants to be with someone and not needing to be with someone. I talk a lot about it in my channel, that you got to go into and come into a relationship, a divine union from a want and not from a need. Because if you come into a relationship, you say, I need you instead of I want you. Two different energies, two different dynamics, two different types of relationships, dependent relationship, a codependent relationship, or a healthy relationship. So make sure that you're doing the work on yourself and you're self-sufficient enough, then you will attract an equal. You will attract an equal, and this is going to be a healthy relationship. Financial dependence, depending on you financially without making efforts to contribute or improve their situation. Now I understand sometimes in a relationship you support your partner or your partner supports you financially. That is okay. In moderation, that is okay, but it's not okay when they become so dependent on you that they actually there because of the money. This is where it's not okay. For example, they often borrow money or expect you to cover their expenses without taking steps to improve their financial situation. Pay close attention to this one. Money is one of the main reasons that relationships goes to shit, unfortunately. Number 7, disrespect for your time. Constant lateness, frequently being late without regard to your schedule or time. Okay, example. They consistently show up late to meet you, often without even texting you or letting you know. And this is why I want you to pay close attention. Without texting you or letting you know, without taking this responsibility. Sometimes we are late and that's okay. It happens. If it's consistently, it's a problem. And if they constantly late and they don't even let you know, just assuming you will be okay with that, that is not okay. And this is an unacceptable behavior. Canceling plans last minute. Regularly canceling or rescheduling plans at the last minute without a valid reason. Without a valid reason, that's a problem. If there is a valid reason, that is okay. For example, they regularly cancel dates or plans with you at the last minute. Often flimsy excuses like something came up. What the fuck came up? Why can't you tell me what came up exactly? What do I need to guess? Tell me. Communicate. Number 8, invasion of privacy, subtle snooping, checking your phone, email, or social media without your permission, and they say that they're just curious or concerned for your well-being. No, you're not. You are doing something wrong. For example, they glance over your shoulder when you're on your phone, ask for your password under the pretext that just in case of emergency. Just in case of emergency, Snoopy head, don't allow that. Overstepping boundaries, ignoring your privacy needs and personal space subtly, making you feel uncomfortable. For example, they read your messages or emails without permission and justify it by saying they were just curious or concerned. I'm a grown-ass man. You don't need to pull this kind of shit. Pay attention. It's not all of them are red flags that need to terminate a relationship, but these are red flags that need to put you on notice and alert and reflect of the person you're with and ask yourself, is this a healthy behavior that I want to cultivate or not? That I'm willing to accept also or not? Number 9, excessive flattery. Too much praise. I know that it sounds too much praise. Why? That's a good thing. Get this. Over-the-top compliments that feel insincere or used to manipulate you, feeling obligated or indebted. For example, constantly saying things like, you're the most amazing person ever, in ways that feel exaggerated or insincere, because Sometimes people do that to just to draw you in and get your attention in an unhealthy way. There are many different healthy ways to get your partner's attention, not just by doing this. And this is sometimes also extremely people-pleasing behavior that is a detriment in a long-term relationship. Short-term relationship, excessive flattery, you can take it. Long-term, it becomes a problem, and you're not going to trust your partner too much if they are excessively flattering you. Flattery with motive, compliments that seems to come from very straightforward place, but it's actually they want to get something in return. For example, complimenting you lavishly before asking for a favor or trying to get something from you, like you're gorgeous and kind. Can you lend me some money? That one is a personal one for me. I dated an ex, of course it was an ex. Woo, she was telling me so many good stuff, and a few minutes later, can you help me with this? Can you help me paying this bill or that bill? And I noticed after we broke up, I look over the text and she's like, you're so amazing. I love you so much. Like, yeah, I love you too. It was feeling good. And I was like, okay, it's nice to hear. And then come the text where she needed something. Notice it and notice a pattern. Also in a relationship, people move in, we're very our behaviors are very pattern-like. So pay attention to the patterns of your partner, if they have healthy patterns, healthy behavior patterns or not. Number 10, disregard your interest. Disinterest in your hobbies, showing no interest in your passions or activities, even when you share them enthusiastically. For example, when you talk about your hobbies or interests, they show no enthusiasm or change the subject. And that sucks to be in this kind of relationship when you talk about your passion and your partner just don't care. I know what it feels like, and I know how it feels when you're in a healthy relationship. Today, when I come to my partner and I talk about Muay Thai, I love Muay Thai. I'm a Muay Thai fighter. And every time I talk to her about it, she's like, oh, wow, what is an uppercut? And how do you do this kick with your legs? Show me the kick, show me. Sometimes I can see that she's really trying to be interested, but it's so sweet because she truly cares. She really, really cares. And then when she talked to me about her stuff, dancing, she's a dancer. She loves also to dance as a hobby. And I tell her, oh, so show me some of the moves. Let's dance together a little bit. So it's just beautiful when it's reciprocal. But when it's not, and they disregard your hobbies and interests, you feel so alone. Because if I cannot talk to Muay Thai with my partner, that would suck. That would suck. I don't want that. I want my partner to be interested in everything that I'm interested in. Not to the degree that I'm interested in that, but at least that I can just tell her some stuff that is healthy. Not making efforts to participate. Yeah. Avoiding any efforts to participate in activities that are important to you. And I remember also when I started dating with my girl, I took her wall climbing. I love wall climbing, and she just got her nails done. But you see, when your woman wants, especially when I'm talking to the guys, when a woman wants to be with you, there are no excuses. There are no excuses. When she doesn't want to be with you, there will be many reasons that she doesn't want to be with you or doesn't want to spend time with you. Like I told you, when I took her wall climbing, she just got her nails done. She said, I'm going to do it with you. She broke some of them. She didn't care because we were together. It was beautiful. And I really appreciated it. And I saw it. Then I told her, I really appreciated the fact that you got your nails done and you come wall climbing with me. She tried not to break them, but she did. And I just said that she did it for me. And I just love that. Now, I'm not expecting it to happen all the time, but I'm just telling you how it looks like when you are in a communicative, healthy relationship. You do shit for each other and you're really interested and you're taking interest in your partner's hobbies. I went to dancing classes with her. I don't like to dance. I'm not a dancer. I find it embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me. I don't know why. I just found it embarrassing. She loves it. So I went to a class with her to show interest. All right. Number 11, subtle control tactics. Suggestive control, making suggestion that subtle control your choices or behaviors, often framed as concern or advice. Example, phrases like, are you sure you want to wear that? Do you really think that's a good idea? That make you second guess your choices. Sometimes this one can be out of genuine concern. If it happens a lot, that's not a genuine concern. That's controlling tactic that toxic people do. Pay attention to this one and understand when it's real and when it's not. And you can tell if it's really new and when it's not based on how frequent they are saying those stuff. If it's very frequently and it's happened a lot, red flag, pay attention. If it's not, if it's once in a while, because sometimes I will tell my girl, are you going to wear that? Or are you going to say, what else I wrote here? Are you sure you want to wear that? Yeah. Or do you think it's a really good idea? Yeah, I said from time to time, but maybe I said it once in 5 months because of the genuine concern. So make sure that you're socially calibrated and evolve enough to understand when they're genuinely interested in you and caring about you, or when they're trying to control you. Guilt tripping, using guilt to manipulate your actions or decisions, making you feel responsible for their unhappiness or well-being. This is a big one. For example, saying things like, I guess I'll just go alone if you don't want to come, making you feel bad not wanting to do what they want. That's not good. That is a red fucking flag. Just pay attention to this one as well, like all the others. Recognizing these subtle red flags can help you evaluate the health of your relationship and make informed decisions about whether to address the issues or consider to move on. Trust your intuition or consult with a healthcare professional and prioritize your emotional well-being, my friend. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video helped you. If it did, and you got a new realization, drop this like button, drop a comment, do this algorithm stuff for me. Sending you love and healing, my friend, and I will see you again in the next video. Take care.